You hate your hair, you hate your body, you hate your skin, just hate so much about yourself. But today, I'm gonna be helping you be more confident in your body, starting right now. Before we hop into the video, let me tell you this. Do not beat yourself up for not being confident in your body the way it is right now, because you're a person and beating yourself up isn't gonna help you. But besides that, the first thing you do to become more confident in your body is by taking ownership of your body and everything that comes along with it. And by that, I mean the things you like, the things you dislike, the things you're not really sure about. You have to own all of it, because once you begin to own it, you now have power over it. And if you own something, you can do whatever you want with it. Even change it to how you like it until you get it to how you want to like it. That way you begin to love it. And the reason I started off with that one first is because if you don't take ownership of what you dislike about yourself or dislike about your body, the first thing that'll happen is, for one, you begin to beat yourself up. Two, you may blame it on somebody else. Or three, blame it on something outside of you, like genetics, or hey, I don't like myself because this happened to me. But at the same time, if you begin to own it, you're like, okay, I mean, I like that about myself, but that's still me. So in that aspect, I should own it and I can love it because it's a part of me. Because if you neglect one part of yourself, it's gonna haunt you and it's gonna be in the back of your mind at all times when you think about it. Instead of letting it haunt you though, own it and begin to love it. Now that you've owned everything about yourself that you like, dislike, and not really sure about, something you want to do next would be to not compare yourself to other people, whether it be in person, whether it be on social media, or anything on the internet. Because once you begin to compare yourself, you begin to look at what you're lacking and not what you're packing. Meaning everything that this other person has that you don't have, you're like, oh, I don't have that. So that must mean something's wrong with me. Versus looking at what you have and you're like, okay, I like that. But if you compare yourself to somebody else, if you want to stop doing that, something you can do is when you see somebody doing better than you, you feel like somebody looks better than you, instead of saying, oh, they look so much better than me, I could never do that. I could never be who they are. So instead of trying to be who they are, do what they do, have what they have, learn from what they do, see what you can implement from what they're doing. For example, let's say if somebody has a certain body type that you would love to have. They're made up differently than you are, but you can use that as inspiration, or you can use that as, okay, if they can get that body, I can get the dream body that I want. But if you make up this body you want, use it in a way for it's something that you can achieve and not something that's not realistic. That would be like me trying to be buff and tall like Dwayne Johnson. I'm a short guy, I'm not gonna get that buff and that tall. No, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. But when it comes to comparing yourself to other people, remember that quote. Focus on what you're packing, not what you're lacking, and you'll feel a whole lot better. Now that you're done comparing yourself to other people, the next thing to do as far as being confident in your body is to learn to love yourself. Because you're supposed to be your own best friend, and how can you be your own best friend if you're not loving who you are as a person or loving your body physically? And when I say loving your body, I don't mean giving yourself a self hug or doing something like that. I mean, if that's what you want to do, hey, go for it. But when I say love your body, I mean the things that you hate about it, or the things you dislike about it. Just look at it and be like, okay, would I say these things to my best friend? The things that I say to myself, the way that I talk about myself, would I say these things to my best friend? 9 times out of 10, the answer would be no. Because if you said those things to your best friend, that would make you a horrible best friend, because you would be tearing down that best friend from the things you're saying about yourself. So the way you flip that on its head is, instead of beating yourself up away about the way your body looks, because it may not be the body you want, but you're owning it and you're not comparing it to anybody else. So the way you begin to love it is looking at what you like about it. Because once you begin to see that, oh, there are things that I like about my body. And once you get to that point, you're like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Because like I said before, when you focus on what you're lacking and not what you're packing, you're amplifying it. But if you flip it on its head and you focus on what you're packing and not what you're lacking, now you're focusing on what you like about it. And once you begin to like something, you begin to love it over time. So in this case, it would be whatever you dislike about yourself. Ask yourself, what do I like about this feature about my body? Instead of focusing on what you dislike. Because here's something else too. The things that you dislike about your body, or may be insecure about your body, you may think that other people pay attention to it, but truth be told, nobody's really gonna notice it. If I'm being honest, nobody's really gonna notice it. We begin to think that we're celebrities in our own heads and that everybody's looking at everything that we're doing, when in reality, they're not. They really do not. But begin to love your body. Take the next step in loving your body and loving who you are. And once you begin to do this as well, it gives you a newfound appreciation for your body. You're gonna look in the mirror and you're gonna be like, I didn't like that before, but I love it now. And also, once you begin to do that, and even compliment yourself too, but once you begin to do that, your self-esteem is gonna go up because you no longer focus on the things you dislike about your body. You're focusing on what you love instead of what you dislike. And that's when you feel much better about how you are, who you are, and what you're packing. Something else I need you to know when it comes to being confident in your body is that it runs deeper than just this outside shell that you have. It runs much deeper, and by that I mean up here. So with that, I need you to ask yourself, why do you not like that part of your body? And you may be surprised that it's something from the past that's gonna come up, whether it be something from being in elementary, high school, middle school, way back when. It's gonna come up, and once it does, don't push it away. Just say, okay, that's the reason why I dislike my body, or the reason I'm not confident in my body. Say, okay. Or even if it's not something from the past, if it's something where it's like just something you just dislike because you were comparing yourself, and now you're no longer comparing yourself. But if it's something from the past, don't push it away. Just say, okay, that's what it was, but this is what I am now. And now you get to that point, you're like, okay, I got this. Because remember, you own it too. You own your body. You're not comparing yourself anymore, and you're learning to love your body. And if you're still not sure where to start, something that'll help you out is by making your like and dislike list about your body. And with that, I mean, get you a sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle. On the left side, write down what you dislike about yourself. And on the right side, write down what you like about yourself. And you would begin to see that there's a lot that you may love about yourself, and there's a lot that you may not like about yourself. But I don't want you to get discouraged about what you dislike about yourself. I want you to use the right side as a reminder of what you like about yourself. And on the left side, use that as a challenge. Say, okay, I may not like this about myself, but I can also change that. And once you begin to change it, what goes on the left side comes to the right side. And the next thing you know, over time, that right side gets filled up. And the left side has only a few things, while the right side is filled up all the way to the brink. And now you're like, wow, I love all of these things about my body. Wow. And next thing you know, you begin to feel better about your body. You begin to feel better about yourself in general. But I do want you to know that this isn't a one-day thing, it's a journey. And you, my friend, I want you to know that you're in the right place. But hey, if you want to be more confident and not be shy around people anymore, check out this video right here. It'll help you to be fully confident around people and not be shy. Drop a like, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.